In China, engineering has become a race to overcome the impossible. Cities built on mountains, trains that pass through buildings, bridges that float over abysses, tunnels under the sea, and robots capable of conversing with humans. Each project seems to come out of a future that does not yet exist. Today, we will explore the most astonishing wonders of a country where technical creativity knows no limits. How did China manage to transform extreme obstacles into works that challenge the imagination? To understand how China came to dominate the global stage of mega-constructions, it is essential to first look at its geography, its pace of urbanization, and the type of challenges the country has faced for decades. China is a territory of extreme contrasts. Plateaus at more than 5,000 meters of altitude, constantly moving deserts, river basins with relentless currents, densely populated cities, and regions where nature seems to oppose any human attempt to settle. For much of its modern history, these obstacles were considered practically insurmountable barriers. However, as the population grew and cities expanded, an urgent need emerged to connect isolated regions, stabilize hostile terrain, and create infrastructures capable of withstanding conditions that in other countries would have made projects of this scale impossible. The transformation began when the country adopted a particular philosophy. Engineering should not adapt to the environment, but coexist with it, and when necessary, reinvent it. From that idea were born railway lines that defy extreme temperatures, bridges capable of resisting typhoons, dams that not only generate energy, but also control unpredictable rivers, and elevated transport systems designed for megacities where there is simply no horizontal space to build. In parallel, technological advancement, especially in artificial intelligence, robotics, and autonomous systems, began to integrate into these physical works, expanding their capabilities and allowing a level of efficiency previously impossible. Added to this is the country's rapid urban leap. Cities such as Chongqing, Chengdu, Shenzhen, and Shanghai became laboratories of architectural experimentation, where colossal skyscrapers, cutting-edge technological centers, futuristic underground complexes, and projects that blend nature with artificial infrastructure coexist. This combination of necessity, ambition, and technology created the perfect scenario for China to drive megaprojects that today serve as global references. With this context, an inevitable question arises that opens the path to the heart of the documentary. How did these historical and geographical conditions give rise to some of the most surprising engineering works of the modern world? China is today a showcase of technological and architectural feats that transform the way we understand modern infrastructure. One of the most emblematic examples is Chongqing, a megacity built on steep mountains and crossed by deep rivers such as the Yangtze and the Jialing. Here, engineering had to respond to an almost impossible challenge: lack of space, sloped terrain, and accelerated urban growth. The solution? A system of elevated highways, multi-level tunnels, and viaducts that weave the city as if it were a science fiction setting. This is Liziba Station, where the metro literally passes through a residential building, a demonstration of how necessity forces thinking in 3 dimensions. Chongqing has also become an emerging robotics hub, with research centers and companies developing humanoid robots capable of walking, seeing, processing information in real time, and interacting with people with empathy, a leap that could completely change urban life in the next decade. In the same city is Raffles City, a complex of 8 skyscrapers connected by a massive horizontal bridge known as the Crystal. Its shape evokes a ship sailing among towers, a tribute to Chongqing's fluvial past. At night, the entire structure transforms into a visual spectacle thanks to a synchronized LED lighting system. In Shanghai, another project redefines the integration between nature and city. 1,000 trees, an urban mountain covered with plants selected to bloom in different seasons, giving the building a living and changing appearance throughout the year. The philosophy behind the project is simple but radical. Architecture should not dominate the landscape, but coexist with it. China also stands out for structures designed to tame almost impassable geographies. The Goupitan shiplift is one of the most impressive examples. A gigantic elevator that allows entire ships to overcome extreme differences in height in mountainous areas. The ships enter a sealed chamber that ascends or descends as if it were a colossal hydraulic elevator. This type of infrastructure connects previously isolated regions and simplifies routes that would have taken hours. The country's ability to unite engineering with spectacle is also seen in the famous drone shows, aerial choreographies where hundreds or thousands of units fly in a synchronized manner. Everything is controlled by centralized software that converts 3D designs into exact routes for each drone, creating figures, animations, and even entire narratives in the sky. In the south, Chimelong Ocean Kingdom houses the largest aquarium in the world, where whale sharks coexist with thousands of marine species. Further west, the Qinghai-Tibet Railway stands as the highest railway line on the planet, surpassing 5,000 meters of altitude. At that height, oxygen is scarce, so the trains use pressurized cabins and additional oxygenation systems to protect passengers from altitude sickness. This work not only breaks geographical limits, it connects Tibet with the rest of China in a permanent and safe way. The country also houses massive-scale structures, such as the New Century Global Center, the largest building in the world in terms of area, capable of housing shops, offices, hotels, artificial beaches, and lighting systems that simulate sunrises and sunsets. In Chongqing, the Guanghuan shopping mall presents itself as a futuristic jungle under a glass dome, with real vegetation on suspended platforms and thematic settings that change with the seasons. Achievements over water also reveal the reach of Chinese engineering. The Qingdao Bay Bridge, one of the longest sea bridges in the world, was built in an area known for its strong winds. To withstand them, thousands of steel and concrete piles were anchored into the seabed. Further inland, FAST, the largest radio telescope on the planet, captures signals from distant galaxies and stellar pulses, with sensitivity sufficient to detect emissions equivalent to a mobile phone on Jupiter. Its 500-meter surface makes it possible to capture signals coming from up to 13 billion light-years away. One of the most complex projects is the Shenzhen-Zhongshan connection, a monumental combination of bridges, artificial islands, and underwater tunnels. The area is famous for its powerful currents and intense maritime traffic, which required the use of floating cranes and high-precision construction techniques. On the artificial island is the entrance to the underwater tunnel, designed to allow vehicles to enter at high speed without extreme slopes. The tunnel descends gently and houses essential systems of ventilation, lighting, and traffic control. In Guangzhou, the circular skyscraper known as Guangzhou Circle challenges traditional vertical architecture with a design based on an ancient Chinese coin. Further west, the imposing Three Gorges Dam, the largest hydroelectric power plant in the world, regulates navigation on the Yangtze River and produces close to 2% of the country's total energy. Equipped with a ship elevator capable of lifting vessels of up to 3,000 tons, it reduces a crossing that previously took hours to just 40 minutes. The Chengdu Supercomputing Center combines science and aesthetics. A cube covered with iridescent panels that houses a supercomputer capable of performing a quadrillion operations per second. In Dongguan, Oppo's R&D Center mixes offices, laboratories, and creative spaces in a design of connected rings bathed in natural light. In rural areas, projects such as the Atelier staircases replaced dangerous rope routes with steel structures that allow climbing up and down cliffs in a fraction of the time, connecting historically isolated communities. Transport infrastructures continue to set records. The Yaxi Expressway, known as the Road of the Sky, crosses 270 viaducts and 25 tunnels amid dense fog. The Fuxing train maintains very high speeds even in extreme conditions, and the suspended monorail of Wuhan offers an electric and silent alternative for congested urban spaces. The Xiaolangdi Dam controls sediment from the Yellow River through massive discharges that have become a global spectacle. Underground, Chengdu SKP Park creates a gigantic green space on the surface, while commerce thrives in futuristic subterranean levels. In extreme environments such as the Taklamakan Desert, China built the first road over moving dunes, stabilizing its route through the planting of thousands of trees that serve as a natural barrier. The Danyang Kunshan Grand Bridge, the longest bridge on Earth, extends for 165 kilometers to allow the passage of high-speed trains without interruptions. The Duke Bridge crosses a canyon surrounded by mist, rising above the height of the Eiffel Tower. Hotels such as the intercontinental Shanghai Wonderland show how China turns industrial ruins into tourist destinations by building downward inside an abandoned quarry. The port of Shanghai, the busiest in the world, moves daily more containers than some entire countries do in a year. The stadium of the Hangzhou Olympic Sports Center imitates the petals of a flower and offers nighttime shows with programmed lighting. The Alibaba campus mixes offices with artificial lakes and gardens, functioning as a smart city. The Daxing International Airport was designed as a starfish to maximize passenger flow. The Zhangjiajie Glass Bridge demonstrates the limits of engineering in mountainous areas. The South-North Water Transfer Project diverts water from humid regions to arid zones, supplying cities such as Beijing and Tianjin. The Hong Kong-Zhuhai-Macau Bridge links 3 regions through sea bridges, underwater tunnels, and artificial islands. Added to this are countless cultural complexes, super-tall skyscrapers, futuristic museums, and technological centers such as the National Supercomputing Center in Wuxi, the Harbin Opera House, the Galaxy Soho by Zaha Hadid, and iconic towers such as the Shanghai Tower, the Tianjin CTF, and the Ping'an Finance Center. Each of these works responds to the same premise. When a challenge seems impossible, China turns it into an opportunity to redefine the limits of engineering. But all of this leads us to essential questions before moving forward. What does this race toward mega infrastructure reveal about the country's future? And where is this technological and architectural ambition that seems to have no brakes heading? What China has built in recent decades are not just isolated works, but a complete ecosystem where infrastructure, technology, and national ambition advance in the same direction. Every bridge that crosses a ravine, every skyscraper that defies a typhoon, every underwater tunnel that connects distant cities, and every supercomputer that processes billions of operations per second reveals a pattern, a commitment to mastering the physical limits of the territory, and at the same time, driving strategic industries such as artificial intelligence, robotics, advanced computing, and renewable energies. This convergence of capabilities positions the country not only as a leader in mega infrastructure, but as a living laboratory of the urban and technological future. The question now is what comes next. When observing projects such as magnetic levitation trains, innovation centers that function as self-sufficient cities, low-carbon footprint museums, stadiums that integrate intelligent systems, and highways designed to cross moving deserts, it is evident that China does not plan to slow down. The development of humanoid robots capable of conversing with empathy, the expansion of extreme transport networks, and the construction of urban complexes that combine nature and technology are clear signs of where the next phase is headed. Smarter cities, more resilient infrastructures, and greater mastery of the interaction between human being, machine, and environment. There also remains a deeper reflection. Many of these works were born as responses to real challenges: lack of space, hostile terrain, isolated regions, population growth, and ended up becoming symbols of modernity. If recent history serves as a guide, the coming years will bring even more daring projects, perhaps structures that today seem unimaginable. Will China be the place where the first continental high-speed tunnels are built, or where robots and autonomous systems are fully integrated into urban life? Or perhaps where architecture finally manages to fuse definitively with natural ecosystems? Whatever the path, one thing is certain: China's futuristic engineering shows no signs of stopping. And while the world watches, the country will continue transforming landscapes, connecting impossible regions, and demonstrating that the boundaries between imagination and reality are becoming ever thinner.